Jonathan Lamb's heart stopped when he kicked open the beach house bedroom door. There was his 5-year-old daughter, naked and trembling. Pete, a trusted family insider, stood stammering apologies, his eyes hollow and strange. In that sweltering August 2021 moment during Daystar Television Network's executive retreat in Miramar Beach, Jonathan's world shattered. This wasn't a misunderstanding, it was the horrifying confirmation of his deepest fears. His wife Susie's frantic call minutes earlier described Pete's zombie-like demeanor stalking their daughter upstairs. The idyllic beach house, a symbol of Daystar's elite privilege, had become a crime scene. What followed was a brutal battle against a $100 million religious empire built by Jonathan's late father, Marcus Lamb, an empire that chose silence over a child's safety, power over truth, and legal threats over justice. The beach house horror wasn't an isolated incident, but the climax of months of warning signs Jonathan and Susie had desperately tried to ignore. Months earlier, their once vibrant daughter had begun demonstrating inappropriate touching using her hands, whispering secrets to Susie that no child should know. Her behavior transformed, nightmares plagued her, she hid in closets when Pete visited, and she begged not to go to Daystar Studios. Initially, the Lambs suspected someone at her school, until they realized no male staff worked there. Their suspicion shifted to Pete after he admitted the girl had walked in on him naked during a previous vacation. Yet confronting him meant risking everything. Daystar, co-founded by Jonathan's father Marcus Lamb, wasn't just a family business. It was a global powerhouse with over 100 stations, luxury retreats, and a private jet. The Lamb name was Daystar. Jonathan's sisters, Rachel Lamb Brown, Director of Communications, and Rebecca Lamb Weiss, producer, held key roles, creating an impenetrable dynastic fortress. Loyalty to this empire overshadowed moral duty. When Rebecca and her husband privately warned Jonathan about Pete's troubling behavior with children years earlier, their concerns were dismissed as overprotective. Pete, often entrusted with supervising children during network events, operated with chilling access. The Lambs now faced an agonizing choice: protect their daughter or protect the legacy Marcus built. Like, comment, and subscribe below. Your engagement fuels our fight to expose power abuses hidden behind stained glass. Daystar's response to the Lambs' alarm wasn't support, it was systematic suppression. Leadership dismissed the beach house incident as a misunderstanding. Jonathan was summoned to private meetings where board members framed his concerns as existential threats. "This could ruin us all," one executive insisted in a leaked recording, pressuring Jonathan to stay silent. Instead of launching an investigation, Joni Lamb, Marcus's widow and Daystar's president, orchestrated a campaign of gaslighting. The Lambs were isolated, their integrity questioned. Jonathan's refusal to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, after Marcus's COVID-related death in 2021 marked the beginning of their purge. He was demoted from executive to a token managerial role, stripped of influence. Susie, co-host of the network's popular Green Room show, was abruptly fired without explanation. The message was clear: compliance or exile. A secret board meeting tape later revealed executives coldly debating Jonathan's fate. One voice argued, "We can't let this go public, it'll destroy everything Marcus built." Joni's leadership prioritized damage control, not truth. The network's attorneys threatened defamation lawsuits if the Lambs spoke out, while internal memos warned staff against contacting them. This institutional machinery, legal threats, NDAs, career sabotage, was designed to crush dissent. Yet Jonathan and Susie defied it. They took evidence to the Roy's Report, an independent outlet investigating religious abuse. "They care more about donations than children," Susie stated, her voice breaking. Their defiance came at a cost: financial ruin, familial betrayal, and relentless harassment. But it ignited a firestorm Daystar couldn't contain. Whistleblowers emerged from Daystar's shadows, revealing a decades-long pattern of silencing victims. Former producers, donors, and staff contacted Jonathan and Susie with eerily similar stories. One ex-producer disclosed staff were told to pray away concerns about Pete, dismissing allegations as spiritual attacks. Another described a culture of fear. Questioning the Lambs meant being labeled a troublemaker and forced out. Most damning was a 2019 case. Another family reported Pete for inappropriate touching after a Daystar event. Instead of notifying police, Joni's inner circle promised to handle this internally. The family was pressured into signing an NDA in exchange for a settlement. "They bought our silence," the child's father confessed. "We enabled a monster." Leaked financial documents exposed a shadow economy funding the silence. $50,000 monthly transfers to an offshore account labeled Ministry Outreach. Former accountant Maria Gonzalez testified this hush fund paid off families and silenced victims. When Gonzalez questioned it, she was fired, but her evidence now fuels an IRS investigation. Daystar's crisis spending was staggering: $2 million on reputation management in 2022 alone, six-figure payouts to crisis PR firms, and private investigators hired to discredit the Lambs. While Joni wept on air pleading for donations to fight attacks from the enemy, this machinery worked overtime. Journalist Julie Roy of the Roy's Report faced death threats and cyberattacks traced to Daystar-linked IP addresses after breaking the story. The network censors scrubbed criticism from platforms, airing Marcus's old sermons about family values instead. They even produced a documentary framing the Lambs as fallen angels, influenced by demons. This wasn't just cover-up, it was spiritual warfare waged with lawyers and money. The Lambs' fight evolved from personal trauma to global advocacy. Their daughter, now 7, suffers night terrors and draws pictures of shadowy figures. School reports note her aggression toward male teachers and fear of bathrooms, classic trauma responses. Yet Daystar supporters harassed the family online, accusing them of exploiting their child. Professionally isolated and financially drained, a GoFundMe for legal fees was mysteriously shut down. Jonathan and Susie channeled their anguish into Marcy's Law, legislation banning NDAs in abuse cases and mandating clergy reporting. Named after their daughter, it challenges the clergy exemption loophole shielding predators. 5 states have launched hearings, and #Pass Marcy's Law trends globally. Their impact reverberates beyond Daystar. Megachurch attendance dropped 15% as younger faithful demand transparency. Survivors from Catholic, evangelical, and Pentecostal traditions united under #BreakTheSilence, holding rallies outside Daystar's headquarters. Jonathan and Susie's memoir, Unsilenced, became a bestseller despite Daystar's attempts to ban it, funding therapy for abuse survivors. Meanwhile, Pete remains free. Florida's statute allows prosecution until victims turn 21, but Daystar's attorneys blocked witnesses and accidentally erased beach house security footage. At least 12 silenced families fear defamation lawsuits if they speak to police. "If you go to the police, we'll sue you into bankruptcy," one father recalled being told. The Lambs' refusal to sign an NDA is their ultimate act of defiance, a beacon for others trapped in silence. Daystar's fortress is cracking. Ratings plummeted 30%, advertisers fled, and Joni's live streams now drown in comments like, "Where's the $2 million hush fund?" Yet her core supporters remain, donating millions as she frames scandal as spiritual warfare. The network's survival hinges on this dangerous narrative, that faith requires blind loyalty, and accountability is betrayal. Jonathan and Susie's journey, from insiders to outcasts, exposes a universal rot. Institutions cloaked in holiness can harbor profound evil when power goes unchecked. Marcy's Law isn't just policy, it's a reckoning for every child sitting scared in a pew. As investigations deepen and whistleblowers multiply, one truth echoes: no legacy built on silenced children deserves to stand. The beach house door Jonathan kicked open revealed more than a crime. It exposed the hypocrisy of an empire that forgot its humble beginnings in service to others, not self-preservation. The final question isn't whether Daystar falls, but whether faith communities worldwide will choose light over darkness, truth over tribalism, and children over corrupted power. If you believe institutions must be held accountable, like this video, comment "Justice" below, and subscribe for updates on Marcy's Law. Silence enables abuse. Your voice breaks chains.